Land of the Lost. That's right, folks. No, we are not talking about the original TV show from the 70s. We are talking about the 2009 comedy action film from Will Ferrell. There used to be a thing that happened when a lot of these comedy stars from the 90s and 2000s got their movies greenlit. They wanted to make movies based on their favorite TV shows from their childhood. Will Ferrell himself was in this and a Bewitched movie with Nicole Kidman, and you're like, that's weird. But it happened. So Land of the Lost. Are any of you young people familiar with this TV show? What if this scientist and some other people went to another universe where there was aliens and dinosaurs and they lived there and they had to just exist there? It was, a big deal at the time, I guess. It only ran for a couple of seasons, but it made an impact on some people. It's got one of my favorite designs for an alien, which we'll get to in a minute here. But I don't think it has any cultural relevance today. It's not like Star Trek. It's not even Lost in Space, where I think people can understand the robot and the characters in it. It's forgotten to time. And we're talking about it in our Dino Summer because it does feature dinosaurs, and it's got very distinctive dinosaurs. Now, this movie from 2009, I have distinct memories of seeing it in a theater. I know that happened. There are key moments from this movie that I have visual recollection for. I've seen this. It's been on my mind since. I don't think I saw it since I saw it in the cinema. I don't like this movie. I think it is such a specific and weird time capsule, and it's just crazy. You could perfectly see 10 years from 2009. This would be a 10-episode series on Netflix or something. But so weird, in this moment in time, Will Ferrell has some cachet, the SNL stuff, the success of Anchorman, and I guess other stuff he's in. Let's do Land of the Lost. I don't understand it, but let's do it. This is more of a comedy than it is anything else. I don't know too much about the original show. I know there's a lot of humor in it and we're having fun. But I don't know. I don't think this premise should be a comedy in a movie. It just seems over the top. And if it is, maybe we should do different types of jokes because it's not funny. It is also the most 2009 movie you are ever going to see. The visual effects are so of the time. It is really good at blending the practical effects and visual effects, but those visual effects, they look like we don't know how to make a practical dinosaur anymore. And that's been a staple of this show. Talking about the dinosaur movies, it's the practical dinosaurs. We're getting into the era where they're all robotic and CG and they don't look as good. I don't like this dinosaur. The T-Rex looks terrible. The Allosaurus looks terrible. They look bad and clunky and stupid and I don't like them. But they're probably the most personality-driven dinosaurs we are talking about. We'll get to that in a minute here. Do you like Will Ferrell? First off, do you? I could take him or leave him. I think in this era, he's on a roll. He's doing some very impressive stuff. He's become a staple of television and film. He's a talented guy. I like him enough. He plays Rick Marshall in this movie, who is a character from the TV show. They do change a couple of things with certain characters, so we have names that are similar, but they're different. He is a disgraced scientist whose big theory is time travel and wormholes are possible. This movie is insane because it opens up and bookends with Matt Lauer. And I was so tempted in the first couple of minutes to be how is this going to go? It opens with Matt Lauer. There's a Jared from Subway reference. I'm oh my God, 2009 was a simpler time, but a worse time. Anyways, Matt Lauer disgraces him, and then Rick gets into a fight with people on the set of the Today Show. He becomes a disgraced science teacher that nobody really wants to listen to, until we meet Holly Cantrell. And she is played by Anna Friel, who has done stuff, but this is her biggest credit, which I'm oh, babe, I am so sorry that this is what you're most known for. This sucks. She is British, and she's I believe we can do the thing you said. We just need more tachyon energy. Can you build like the tachyon device so we can find tachyon stuff? And we know like a location where there's a lot of like tachyon particles and things. And he's like, if you think it can work, then let's do it. Let's see if we can do like a tachyon thing. So then they go to this cave. It's like Devil's Cave. It's like some random cave in the desert that's turned like a tourist trap. And it is run by Danny McBride. Another guy who he's on the up. He's going to do a couple of things in like the mid-2000s. They're going to solidify him as a comedy star. I personally think McBride's career gets more interesting in the later half of like the 2010s and the present day when he's got like his HBO deal. That's when things get good for him. But he's a young guy here. He's kind of an asshole. He plays Will Stanton, and Will Stanton is sort of a character from the original TV show. And he's just a piece of shit. He is sexually harassing the woman the whole time. He's saying stupid shit. None of his jokes land. Like, I understand the weird, subtle jokes that Will Ferrell's going for. He's like a dry-witted scientist type. It doesn't work, but I get what we're going for. The Danny McBride stuff is insane and stupid. I don't even want to explain some of the jokes because they're so bad. The worst one is like when they're in the dinghy headed into like the cave. He's like, don't worry, you're going to get wet. He's like, oh, we can't get this technology wet. And he's like, I'm not talking to you, buddy. I'm talking to this girl. You're like, okay, let's relax. Anyways, they open on their tachyon thing in this cave and they open a portal and they go to the land of the lost. And I guess it's just doing random adventures that you could see on the show. I do like the sets for the most part when we go to the land of the lost. There's some cool rocks, there's some cool foliage. Like we're trying stuff. We're trying to make this look like it is the TV show, which is kind of cool. This is also the same year that the Star Trek reboot happens. And I'm like, you could have went more that direction, maybe some more lens flares and some beautiful stuff because the lighting in this movie is so insane. It is weirdly bright. Everything looks like it's lit on a soundstage and like the weird modern digital lighting we have for today's cameras. It looks like that back then, but worse because it's got like the weird color grading of the 2000s and bad CG. Anyways, as this stuff happens, we meet a T-Rex and it's okay. The T-Rex has personality because he hears Rick call him like dumb and dim-witted because he's got the brain the size of a walnut. So then the T-Rex literally does like eye rolls and smiles at him like sarcastically and drops a big walnut in front of him. As this is going on, we are also introduced to our proto-human cave boy character called Shaka. I don't like Shaka or Chaka or whatever. It's annoying. I don't like a sidekick who just makes noises. They gotta do stuff. And he's just a furry little freak who just annoys me to no end. I don't like that character. I know why he's here, but I don't like it. There is some kind of interesting set pieces where they're like hanging over a pit and they have to swing back and forth to escape the dinosaur. It's kind of cool. But then just stupid stuff from a sitcom happens. And it's really annoying. How are they going to get home? Who knows? They'll have to figure it out eventually. They stumble onto the sacred ground where they meet the Slee. What is a Slee Stack? Is it the Slee Stack? Is that what they're called? This leads me to the Slee Stack. We got to talk about this really quick. I love their design. It is so inviting. I love the texture. I love the big mouths. I love everything going on with the Slee Stack. They look really cool and they're intimidating, but you feel like you could like hang out with them. I really dig the designs. That's from the show. They look great in here. We also meet Enoch, and Enoch is like their bigger talking guy. He can like talk English. I guess it's speak English is what you would say. He wears a tunic, which will come into play later, and they like open a weird portal that goes to a dark room when they meet Enoch, and he's like, hello, you have to find me the special crystals in your tachyon particles so you can get home and we can do all this stuff and stop the evil Zarn from taking over. Played by Leonard Nimoy. Kind of crazy that in 2009 Leonard Nimoy is in 2 movies based on sci-fi shows from the 60s and 70s, but whatever. So they gotta go find the thing, and that's just an adventure. As this is happening, we see a sequence where to like escape from being seen by the T-Rex, Rick Marshall douses himself in urine and drinks some. And we're like, shut up, man. This isn't funny. So then there's just like some big fights against the T-Rex, and more dinosaurs show up, little raptors, pterodactyls. It's fine. It is fine, I suppose. There is some good action when we see like things displaced from time winding up in this desert. Big catapult, we throw like nitrogen at a dinosaur and it freezes it and kills it, then it explodes. And then a pterodactyl takes the tachyon thing back to its like nest. And Rick Marshall's like, well, I give up. We clearly can't win this fight. I'm going to go masturbate. Oh, shut up. I hate that joke. It's a stupid joke. It doesn't work. The entire time, too, Holly is just in love with this guy. She discredited herself in her fields because she thinks this guy's a genius. And I'm like, nothing about him has been right. Every action he has taken has proven us he knows what a dinosaur is, but doesn't understand the world around him. Yes, dinosaurs don't see things clearly, but dousing yourself in piss isn't going to help you because it's not a normal dinosaur. He's smart. Like, shut up. You don't know what's going on. Stop trying to think you're the smartest guy in the world. Anyways, they go to the pterodactyl nest and they walk over a volcano. They get the thing. They have to sing like a Broadway melody to keep the babies asleep. Then they eventually learn that the Zarn is actually the good guy and Enoch is the bad guy who wants to take over space and time or reality or whatever. So they have to go against him. And then the action gets really shitty when they're like hanging over a big pit of fire and they're just swinging back and forth, knocking guys down. It looks bad. It looks bad. I don't like it. It is stupid. But then we have to do another fight with the T-Rex because his arch rival throughout this whole thing is the T-Rex. The T-Rex eats him and then poops him out later, which is a stupid joke they dwell on for too long. And then they're friends now because the T-Rex is like, you fixed a stomach issue I had. They defeat Enoch, movie over. It's not good. And it looks like a straight-to-DVD movie from the era and from today's era. The jokes don't land. There was a couple times I chuckled. I can't recount them to you because I don't remember. I hate a lot of the humor. I don't like the stupid romantic relationship that it's trying to build up. There is some interesting stories that we do tell, I guess, towards the end. Danny McBride's character decides he's going to stay with Chaka because they're friends. Oh my god, yeah, they get high. There's a sequence where they get high. They, like, drink some weird liquid from a big berry, and it gets them stoned. And this was a funny joke, because it's just Danny McBride and Will Ferrell's sense of humor, which is Danny McBride saying, how much would I have to pay you to, like, kiss Chaka right now? He's like, if you don't tell anybody, I'll do it for free. And it's just, like, them getting nervous watching him try to kiss Chaka. That is a good joke. While the woman goes to do all the other stuff, save the day, get the tachyon shit all together, these guys are just lounging in a pool, kissing each other. That's a good joke. But yeah, Danny McBride decides he's going to stay, and he realizes that, like, Shaka, because he's, like, this king and has, like, thousands of women swooning over him, but he thinks they're ugly, they look like normal women, so he's like, oh, I'm at the right choice. I can bang all these broads who don't speak English, and it's not going to be bad or anything. So that's something. I will commend the movie for the best joke, which is at the very end where they hold up a book that says Matt Lauer can suck it, because now Will has proven that he's smarter than Matt Lauer. Hey, that is the thing that's aged the best. Matt Lauer can suck it. What a weird little movie that is bad and ugly and does nothing. The female character gets less clothes on as the story goes on. They are just talking down to her. The effects look bad. It is funny when the T-Rex has a personality. But the Sleestack are the only redeeming thing in this because there's practical suits for them and they look good. They look really good. I dig that design so much. Even Enoch, who just like looks like a guy in a suit the whole time. It's a really nice looking suit. I don't know. That's the only thing I like about this stupid movie. It's bad and boring and should remain in the past. Should this property come back? Maybe. But not in this way, and not in like this stupid 2000s style of comedy. It also shouldn't be done like the Netflix Lost in Space show. Do you remember that? Remember when Netflix did Lost in Space? It shouldn't be like that. I'm amazed nobody's attempted to do a Gilligan's Island today in the style of Wednesday. But this is not what that episode's about. This is about Land of the Lost. It is dino adjacent because dinosaurs are in it, but it is a dumb comedy with sci-fi elements that had a better TV show in the 70s. Not the best of anybody's career, honestly. I don't like it, and you shouldn't watch it. And I'm sorry we talked about this one. But that's going to do it for this episode of Comedic Tales. Thank you all for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe to the channel. And of course, I will catch you in the next one. Have fun, stay safe, good luck.